Murphy is an S-Class Fury Tendency Sinner who deals true damage. For those who doesn't know, true damage is a type of damage that completely ignores the defense and magic resistance of the enemy, making them playable in any stage of the broken front line. Murphy's main role is to amper this true damage thing. Some would argue that Murphy is also capable of mobbing or even be the main DPS of the team, but after I do the test myself, I feel it's going to need further investment for her to fulfill this role. So personally, I'm gonna put that as her secondary role. Murphy gameplay is revolving around Bad Luck Mark. She gains this mark when her normal attack deals damage. When she gets 8 stack of Bad Luck Mark, that's when ideally you want to cast her ultimate. This is because more Bad Luck Mark basically equal to more damage. On the other hand, casting ultimate will also apply a normal damage taken amper up to 40%, which I believe the strongest by far in the game. With her exclusive, she also can grant attack plus 30% to herself or an allied sinner of your choosing. This most likely going to be given to Augustus, or a certain future Reforged True Damage Sinner. Anyway, can you see now how the damage amper seems very attractive? You might think, okay, but why True Damage? The amper seems very general. Well, then it's time to get to the details. First, her characteristic. After normal attack deals damage, Murphy gains 1 stack of Bad Luck Mark. Bad Luck Mark lasts for 128 seconds and can be stacked 8 times. For each additional Bad Luck Mark gain, the duration is half. That means your 8 Bad Luck Mark will only last for 1 second. But don't worry, when your Bad Luck Mark duration ends, you don't lose all your Bad Luck Mark. Instead, only 1 stack will be removed. This will make it very easy to at least keep your Bad Luck Mark at 7 stacks. Maybe 6 if the fight has a downtime. You can track Bad Luck Mark by looking at this number next to Murphy's HP. Murphy Mania intensifies that her attack speed plus 16%. Very helpful, so she can do normal attack faster to generate Bad Luck Mark. Murphy normal attack is very straightforward. She deals damage equal to 80 to 160% of her attack to the enemy within skill range. Her ultimate is quite wordy, but it's actually very simple. First, it costs 24 energy and can only be used while Murphy has Bad Luck Mark, which is basically all the time I guess. The effect of the ultimate is based on the number of Bad Luck Mark Murphy has. There are 3 different effects, but to put it very simply, the effect is basically more Bad Luck Mark, the more damage coefficient. Like, really. Other than that, all the damage from the ultimate is considered normal attack damage. Okay, let's take a look at the effect one by one. First, the first effect. It requires Murphy to carry at least 1 Bad Luck Mark. Murphy deals damage equal to 128 to 256% of her attack randomly to all enemies within skill range and applies root for 1 second. For each extra Bad Luck Mark, this effect will additionally trigger one more time up to 3 times. This effect is indicated by lightning strike that hits the enemy. The second effect triggers when Murphy carry at least 4 Bad Luck Mark. Murphy deals damage equal to 256 to 512% of her attack randomly to all enemies within skill range and applies movement speed minus 30% for 5 seconds. For each extra Bad Luck Mark, this will also additionally triggers one more time up to 3 times. This effect is indicated by a Black Cat summon to attack the enemy. The third effect requires 7 Bad Luck Mark. Murphy deals damage equal to 512 to 1024% of her attack within skill range, prioritizing enemies with the highest maximum HP. If Murphy has a stack of Bad Luck Mark, the flame explodes and split into 5 smaller flames dealing damage equal to 128 to 256% of Murphy's attack in a single tile. This effect is indicated by this cross AoE hitting the enemy. Now, here's the thing, and you might already notice, when you have at least 7 stack of Bad Luck Mark, it will activate all of the effect instead of only the third one. The effect will be activated consecutively from the weakest to the strongest, and it took about 1 second each. Here, look closely. First come the lightning, then the cat, then the cross AoE. So if you consider the total damage, it's very strong. But if you are speedrunning, then you want to take account the 3 seconds needed to resolve all the effect. Murphy passive 1 is simple yet powerful. After Murphy dealing damage with her ultimate, Murphy applies normal damage taken plus 20 to 40% for 12 seconds. Personally, I consider this is the star of her skill. Murphy passive 2 is another damaging ability. While carrying the Bad Luck Mark, When Murphy deals true damage to the enemies, Murphy deals additional damage equal to 0.3 to 0.6% of her attack. Looks small, but for additional attack of Bad Luck Mark, the damage coefficient is doubled. At a stack of Bad Luck Mark, the damage will be 76.8% per trigger. This damage is considered normal attack damage and can be triggered 6 times per second. Okay, now the usual question. Can Murphy trigger this passive to 6 times per second? Well, the good news is, yes, she can. The bad news probably won't be often, because the only attack that can trigger this effect 6 times consistently is the third effect of the ultimate, Rampaging Blaze, and that's assuming you hit it while she has a stack of Bad Luck Mark. The other effect may be if it hit multiple enemies. I just don't find it this very impressive, especially if Murphy runs solo. However, perhaps it's because she is not the one who's supposed to bring the potential of this passive. What am I talking about? Now, do you remember the question I asked at the beginning? You might think, okay, but why true damage? The answer seems very general. Right, it's time to answer that question. Murphy exclusive unlocks a new exclusive ultimate, 1%. This exclusive ultimate has a 30-second cooldown and can be used 3 times per battle. Just nice if you want to bring her to long fight like Tower of Ashes, who usually has 3 brick state window. 1% allows you to designate one Elite Sinner and grant them Accident Mark. After casting this exclusive ultimate, Bad Luck Mark stacks stop decreasing for 16 seconds. Accident Mark grant the bearer attack increase by plus 20, 25 to 30% for 16 seconds. If Murphy carries this mark, her true damage is increased by 30, 40 to 50%. If other Elite Sinner carry this mark, they also can trigger the effect of Passive 2. Since Passive 2 can only be triggered by true damage, that means only Sinner from true damage team can trigger this effect. Not only that, we have a certain monster that even can trigger it 6 times per second. And of course, you know who that is. Yep, I'm talking about Augustus. I mean, did you ever count how many true damage she dealt in a second? Neither do I, but it's obviously a lot. Do you see now why I said Murphy is a true damage team Amper? It's because only with true damage team that you can have access to all of her abilities. Okay, showcase time. I will showcase Murphy both as main DPS and true damage Amper, so you can see which one is more effective. First, let's determine the team. As I mentioned, Murphy is best to play with true damage team. Then naturally I will use Shattered Blade team, since they are the best true damage team at the moment. When Murphy is the main DPS, Cyclin is going to be useless, so I'm going to replace her with Awu instead. The remaining 2 slots will be whoever you need for further support. In this case, I'm going to use the usual, Shin for heal and LL for energy. Let's start with Murphy as the main DPS. Being the main target for buff with Bell Tower and Awu exclusive Cramran, I immediately noticed something that I don't like. And that's waiting for a stack of Bad Luck Mark. It took about 9 seconds into the fight for her to be ready. If not for Augustus being there, I think the field would have been overwhelmed. However, as I mentioned before, her ultimate actually very powerful and potentially giving her the main DPS status. I mean, considering that all of her 3 ultimate was casted when she has 8 Bad Luck Mark, that's basically a total of 4,608% damage coefficient. It should capable of taking a huge chunk of the boss HP, but in reality it took her 3 ultimates and Augustus' help to finish off the boss. Why? Well, 2 reasons. First is that during the time I'm making this video, there was no Murphy specific buff, which usually can help new release Sinner to shine a bit more. And I know, the seasonal buff is already made specifically for her, but I feel like it's not enough or fair, considering I always take account this buff on the other Sinner guides if I can. Secondly, and this is probably more important and technical, it's because her first 2 ultimate is randomly hit the enemies. So yeah, 4,608% of total damage on paper looks good, but when half of those hit random trash mob that already near their deathbed, it's a waste of damage and doesn't look good on the damage dealt to the boss. I find this randomness makes her unreliable as the main DPS. The result, I managed to clear broken front line within 25 seconds, a respectable amount, but with Augustus sharing half of the damage. Granted, my Augustus is Shackle 5 and Murphy is Shackle 0, but for me it just shows that I would struggle more if I did not bring Augustus. And you might ask, well Kaiza, why you bring Augustus? You know she will outshine Murphy since she's a limited Sinner. Well, I had to, because Augustus is not just a carry, but also one of the best true damage amper. She can buff all allied sinner true damage by 30% for just being there. So I bring her for the sake of Murphy. What do you want me to do? Bring Synax instead? No disrespect, but good luck with that. On the other fight against the duck, the fight is more annoying. That's because the spawn point more spread out and the duck has this ability to teleport to random places, making them sometimes scattered around. And that's gonna impact Murphy's overall damage even further since the advantage of her ultimate being an AoE is gone. In the end, despite of giving all the resource to Murphy, Augustus just wiped the floor with her in this stage. So in my opinion, she is just not good as main DPS and even mobbing. However, there is a little bit of hope. Have you ever seen a truck just passing by and isekai the enemy? That is her ability called Lucky Truck that you can unlock with her Shackle 1. If you want to make her a mobber, this is her real mobbing ability. It can be triggered when she casts ultimate and hit the entire field with decent damage. If you Shackle 3 here, you have a chance to trigger it with her normal attack. If you really want to make her your main DPS or mobber, Shackle 1 seems to be a must investment that you need to take. Now, I spent quite a bit of time talking about her being a DPS. What about her as a true damage hamper? Well, chef kiss. Augustus just obliterated the enemy easy. That broken front line with Rust cleared it without breaking the core. The result, new record time this week by 4 seconds. No special arrangement, no micromanaging, just the usual Shattered Blade autopilot gameplay. What about in Tide of Ashes? Same thing. In this case, Murphy replaced Reforged Summer and managed to increase the team's damage by about 9 million. Doesn't seem much, but considering reforging a Sinner is an expensive investment, and my Summer EX skill was O Caskets, which means you need to reforge another Sinner at least halfway, having Murphy even at Shackle 0 is a better choice. In conclusion, Murphy was made for true damage team as an amper and will only capable as main DPS or mobber if you're willing to invest more on her. Skill priority is passive 1, passive 2, ultimate, the normal attack. Exclusive requirement you can go between 1 to 3 depend on your liking. Personally, I stay 1 as it's already enough to outdo amper provided by Reforged Summer. For Crime Brand, if you decide to Shackle 1 her and make her a mobber, then use Bloom in Ashen Silence. If you focus more on her as an amper, then you can equip her with more supporting Crime Brand like Afterglow, Nomad, Nightmare Revelation, whatever you need basically. For Shackle, she is fine as Shackle 0 if you make her a true damage amper. But if you require her to mobbing and deal more damage, then at least Shackle 1 is necessary. Shackle 1, when cast her ultimate, if Bad Luck Mark stacks become full, additionally triggers Lucky Truck. Lucky Truck deals damage equal to 256% of Murphy attack to all enemies on the field 3 times. This damage counts as normal attack damage. Other notable Shackle is Shackle 3. After Murphy normal attacks deals damage, there is 1% chance to trigger Lucky Truck. If trigger failed, the next trigger chance is doubled. This means at the worst luck, you are guaranteed a Lucky Truck trigger on her A attack. The rest of the Shackle is just extra. Attack speed plus 8% for faster normal attack and energy plus 18 when entering battle for speed running. Alright chief, we are near the end of the video. If you find the video helpful, don't forget to drop a like, comment and subscribe for more Path to Nowhere content. My name is Kaiza and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.